Good afternoon, everyone. It's a great day here in Salinas, November 12th, 2024, the Salinas City Council meeting. This meeting is available in Spanish for members of the public in attendance and on Zoom. Translation devices can be obtained in the foyer. City Clerk?
Buenas tardes. Esta reunión está disponible en español para los miembros del público y en Zoom. Las unidades de traducción se pueden obtener en la entrada de la rotonda.
Excellent. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Chief Sam Clement, can you lead us, please?
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Barrera?
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio? Councilmember Rocha?
Here.
Councilmember Sandoval? Here. Councilmember Valenzuela?
Present.
Mayor Craig?
Here.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. We have our new employee welcome and introductions. I will defer to City Manager Mendez for basic introductions here.
Thank you. I think I'm going to start with the fire department. So, Chief Clement.
Thank you, Mayor and Council members. Sam Clement, your fire chief. I'm proud to stand before you today just to introduce our 17 new Salinas Fire Department recruits. As part of our SAFER grant that awarded over $4.6 million to help us staff, this is just an example of your commitment to staffing public safety and making sure that Salinas is a safe place. And I would like to ask each of these folks to just kind of all stand up real quick and just tell you who they are and where they're from. And I think you'll be pleased to hear from them individually. We have a lot of good local homegrown talent here before us that hope will be with us for a long time. So, start it off.
Hi everyone, I'm probationary firefighter Aaron Osgood. I'm from Salinas. Happy to be part of the department.
I'm probationary firefighter Brody Davis. I'm from Santa Cruz and happy to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. My name is probationary firefighter Adam Jimenez, and I'm from Salinas and here in Puebla.
How's it going? Probational firefighter Antonio Sanchez. I'm born and raised here in Salinas, and it's a privilege to work here.
Probationary firefighter Jihad Padin, born and raised here in Salinas County.
Hello, everybody. Probationary firefighter Kanga. I'm from Marina.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is probationary firefighter Juan Acevedo, and I was born and raised here in Salinas.
Hello, my name is probationary firefighter Jackson Ingram. I'm from Evergreen, Colorado, but wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Good afternoon, I'm probationary firefighter Kiros, born and raised here in Salinas. Super grateful for this opportunity.
Hello, everybody. Probationary firefighter Reyes, and born and raised here in Salinas.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is probationary firefighter Salvador Flores, and I'm from Greenfield.
Good evening, probationary firefighter Schultz. I'm born and raised in the outskirts of Salinas.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm probationary firefighter Reese Stoller. I'm also from here in Salinas.
Good afternoon, my name is probationary firefighter Ryan Whitting, born and raised in Denver, Colorado. I currently live in Morgan Hill. Happy to be here.
Hello, probationary firefighter Cutter. I'm originally from Stockton. Much happier to be here.
Hello, probationary firefighter Kyle Alpers, King City. Proud to be part of this department.
Hi there. Probationary firefighter Derek Burke, and I'm from San Jose. Thank you for the opportunity.
I'll just add that we started with 17 and we ended with 17, the largest graduating class in our Salinas Fire Department history. Also, a quick shout out. All these folks did graduate about a month or so ago. I just want to acknowledge Division Chief David Fury, who's taken over our training division, recently promoted, but he's also got his fingerprints on a couple of our fire department academies. He's ensured the highest level of training, and I think he did not disappoint again this time. This is some exceptional training. It's rigorous. It's no joke. Your Salinas firefighters are well prepared with his efforts and the efforts of our training cadre and all the other folks that are associated, our other firefighters, officers of the Salinas Fire Department that contribute. They all have their fingerprints on these folks. So thank you.
Thank you. I'll just take a moment to acknowledge you're always welcome at City Council. We encourage city employees, and particularly the local 1270 and our other bargaining units, to be engaged and involved. So thank you for being here today. I don't know if you were voluntold you were going to be here, but very much appreciate it, and we welcome you to the city of Salinas. It's the best fire department around. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Mayor. Finance, I think we have a few finance employees.
Thank you, Selena Andrews, Finance Director. And joining us today are two employees, Claudia Gonzalez and Chi Tran. Claudia is our newest senior accountant, and Chi Tran is our business systems analyst. And I think they can each stand and say a little something about themselves if they'd like.
Hi, everybody. My name is Claudia Gonzalez. I was born and raised in Mexico City, but I live in Soledad now. Happy to be here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chitra, and I come from Marina, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. We welcome you as well, and thank you for being here today.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. I'm also pleased to be here to announce the hiring of a new park maintenance worker. Lane Morrow has joined us, and so we're just excited to keep building upon that team so that we can provide direct service to the community. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. 20 new employees. I'd say that's a very productive beginning of a city council meeting. So thank you, and thank you to Human Resources for working on the active recruiting. All right, we will now go on to public comment. If you wish to make a general public comment or comment on a specific agenda item, you're encouraged to attend the city council meeting in person or attend on Zoom and use the raise hand icon. Emailed public comments received have been distributed to the council and will be entered into the permanent record. Public comments generally are limited to 2 minutes per speaker. I may further limit the time for public comments depending on the agenda schedule. We're now open for public comment on items that are not on the agenda and that are in the City of Salinas' subject matter jurisdiction. Comments on agenda items should be held until the items are reached. With that, we're open for public comment. Welcome.
Good after eve, everyone. My name is Kimberly Bryant, and I'm here to offer a prayer to the City Council members, to you, Mayor, and to everyone in the room. I would ask you to join me. It is the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. The Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. Thank you so much for each one of you that serve us.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Jose Guerra, Montebello community. Great things are coming. You know, we went to a meeting this morning for the supervisor meeting for the county. And I hate to say, but these tactics that they've been using to keep people from progressing or keeping their jobs. They fired a very good doctor, Dr. Carrillo, from one of the east side, of course, always the east side, clinics, the East Alsa one. And we went there to support him. And a lot of people came really hard on Mr. Alejo because he's been slacking off. So like I tell everybody, you know, you got to pay position now. Don't slack off, because we're going to make sure you, every bit of money we're paying you, we're going to make sure you guys get a revenue out of it. We do. So please, everybody, do your job. Do what you do. I want to thank Mr. Barrera for picking up the garbage in Montebello that the city left there for a week. You know, I don't understand why they just can't pick it. They see it there and they don't pick it up. The gardeners see it, don't pick it up. Like, nobody can make a phone call, hey, Jefe, can I pick this up? No, it's too hard to do that. And the other thing, the shooting for the little kid this weekend, that's really sad. You know, to my police department, if you're here, if you're not, please, you got drones, man. Do something about it. If you don't got people, you got drones. I'll help you, run one of them. They're pretty easy. I can run it for you. Someone got killed and no one's coming forward. Sad. How do we do that? If you guys need help, please reach out to me. I'm an advocate for that. I'm really upset over that. I'm pissed off, excuse my language, because there's no reason why an 18-year-old kid should get shot for something that's already illegal to begin with, and nobody's stopping it. So I love the 17 firefighters, the 2 employees, and the other employee that we got. Let's get some more police officers. Let's get another 30, That's just my opinion. Hey, thank you, guys. God bless you. Have a great day. And Madam Mayor, it's great serving with you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Hello, my name is Bradley Clinton, and I've been coming here for over a year, trying to improve the roads, and this is my last time. I can't take it anymore. As far as I'm concerned, I want the council to start considering firing Rene. He's not doing his job. He's agreeing with the workmanship as being adequate. It's subpar at best. And it's sad that you can't get a new manager in here that could get the work done to get our streets looking decent. And then another issue is Carla Gonzalez. I tell all the council people that y'all seem to care about your district and your pet peeves, but as a city as a whole, you don't care. So 30 seconds after I sent this to her, she wrote, "I don't give a F." And I think that's quite inappropriate to somebody who cares about a city, coming from a council person, which I think if she's not being, I think she'd be fired for a comment like that. And then I'm getting mad at the way you guys agreed on letting the LBGT flag fly over City Hall forever. Well, that should be voted on by the people, not by the 7 of you. And that's another, again, and I shouldn't have to get a petition to have it taken off. You guys voted in, you guys get voted off. Same with Rene, you can vote him in, you can vote him out. And he's not doing his job. It's not because he doesn't know, he doesn't care. Or he'd get on Jacobs and say, hey, you either fix the work or you're out of here. And start firing people from the top down. The workmanship is pathetic. And I'm getting tired of it. That's why you won't see me here again, because the work is pathetic. Well, anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me okay with my
Yes.
mask on? I'll do anything not to get sick, so. So anyway, I'm Eloise Shim, and one of the things that I want to say is that I think the recall effort for Councilman Sandoval is really bogus, because actually, he was the only person that responded to me when I was getting, an appointment taken back after I had gotten it. And he was the only one when I wrote to everybody, when I made a public comment, he was the only one that responded to me, and listened to me, heard my side of the story. So I don't know why they're calling him too much of a watchdog or too much of what they're calling him, because, there's a lot of stuff that needs watching in Salinas. And so I really hope that the people in District 5 don't sign that petition, because I don't think he should be recalled. The other thing that I want to say is that about the police, not only in Salinas, but just the police in Monterey County. They are too trigger happy. You had the thing at Smart and Final where they killed the guy. You had the thing in Carmel where the police killed that young guy just a few weeks ago. They didn't have to kill him. They could have incapacitated him. So the police in Monterey County need to be trained. They're too trigger happy to killing people. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Hi, good evening. I won't be as pleasurable to say I won't be coming back. I'll come back as many weeks as possible. What a delight, I'd like to say, for all the firefighters. And that's city work. That's a city at work. And that's really, really wonderful to see that our fire department's able to do that. And again, hopefully we're able to do that with police. You know, and I think the jury's out for Renee. I think that it's important to look at our city manager, who's been here a month or two now, or not too long, and to jump into a city with a budget and as many situations to have to deal with. It's like fingers in the dam, where do we go first? And I'm really appreciative that Renee is here, actually. I think, you know, some of the sentiment here, you know, when we talk about like pride flag flying over our city, which I believe our United States flag and our state flag are the only flags that are really appropriate. But when doing that, I see the referendum in our election, and it was a landslide sweep. And the biggest surprise to me was Anthony here. I think he works really hard, and I was very surprised to see how short he came up. And it's a referendum on political agendas at our city. Nobody cares what your gender, what your sexual preference is. Nobody cares about your social justice and what you might think about Ron DeSantis. What people care about is, can you hire these firefighters? You know, I've had communication with Andrew. He's been very constructive. He's up on a recall. He's made some people upset. So our city's upset, and I wish you all the best, and Viva Salinas.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Maybe our interest should flag. Name is Eric Peterson, and those who know me well know I can't stand San Jose. And last meeting, I brought up that San Jose has an area for homeless people to pitch their tents that's safe and sanitary and all that. Well, this time I found out San Jose is taking an old golf course and letting it be developed. And we've got an old golf course that's a drag on the budget, that is lightly used, and maybe we could take a third of that and make it into a park and take the other 2/3 and put affordable housing. And it would, if nothing else, it would solve an annual budget problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
Good afternoon, City Council, Your Honorable Mayor. Luis Chaco Juarez for neighborhood organizer for Building Healthy Communities, and really, really grateful to this City Council. I believe that what we were able to experience all the way up to now, and of course, we're still waiting for the results on Wednesday. You know, to feel a degree of engagement and to witness what happens when, you know, when our city council work together. It's a great demonstration of how it's represented, how this city is represented in these last 4 years. So feeling very proud of that. And I wanted to share that with you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, seeing no one else for public comment, we'll close public comment in the rotunda, and we'll go over to Zoom. Does any member of the public wish to comment? In public comment, we have one hand raised. Anyone else on Zoom, if you would like to speak in public comment, please use the raise hand function, and we will go with Robin. You have 2 minutes. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Craig. During a mid-April city council meeting, we were informed that the city was facing a $20 million budget deficit, and we were assured that there would be no impact on services. However, at a subsequent meeting, we were told the deficit had disappeared. To understand this discrepancy, I submitted a public records request. As expected, The city responded by claiming it has no legal obligation to provide the requested information. They cited various government codes and case law to assert a right of privilege, prioritizing their discretion over public interest. While I recognize that there are circumstances where withholding information is justified, the city's response in this case raises serious concerns. I received nearly 3,000 pages of redacted documents, the majority of which contain details about language translation services, obviously not so relevant to the issue of a budget deficit. While I cannot be certain whether the city attorney is solely responsible for this response, or if it was part of a coordinated effort to handle me, one thing is clear. The city's actions only heighten my concern that their priority lies in protecting their public image rather than providing the transparency and accountability that we, their employers, have continued to request. And quite candidly, City Manager, I don't think you're doing your job, so I respectfully disagree with Mr. Leip. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no other hands raised on Zoom, we'll go ahead and close public comment on Zoom, and we will move on to our first item, which is a public hearing. Just in the interest of anyone that is watching at home or in the council chambers, the establishment of rental program fees, program budget, general fund budget, appropriation, and workforce allocation modification has been continued to November 19th, next Tuesday. So just want to let anyone that may be here know that that item has been moved. We'll go on to our first public hearing, 24-590, the fifth substantial amendment to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development fiscal year 2019-2020 annual action plan. And we will receive a report from Francisco Brambilla, our management analyst. Oh,
Actually, it's going to be
yeah,
Vincent
you're not
Montgomery.
Francisco. Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Would you introduce yourself again, just because I talked over you?
Good afternoon, members of the City Council and general public. My name is Vincent Montgomery. I am the planning manager for the Community Development, Homeless, and Housing Division.
Welcome.
Thank you. So the fifth substantial amendment, let's see, how do you advance this now? You want to show me? Oh, wait. Okay. As you can see, the fifth substantial amendment is to reallocate $208,400 to economic development technical assistance, reallocate, consolidate, and reconcile all CDBG CV funding to meet expenditure deadlines. Oh, that went the wrong way. The annual action plan, as you can see here, is required for HUD fund allocations and aligns with the CDBG, the city's consolidated plan, goals. Over previous amendments, the city accepted additional CDBG CV and ESG CV funds for COVID-19 response activities. This fifth substantial amendment reallocates funds to extend economic assistance for small businesses while balancing allocations to other HUD-supported programs. The fifth substantial amendment, I think I went the wrong way, reallocates $208,400 in CARES Act Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds to extend the Community Development Analyst position, Small Business Navigator, in the Economic Development Division through fiscal year 2024-2025. The amendment also consolidates all CDBG CV funds to ensure eligible activities are properly and appropriately funded. The amendment reallocates funds across various programs, as you can see, without increasing the total funding amount. Economic Development Technical Assistance increases to $608,400. Housing Information and Referral Services and fair housing decreases to $303,876. All the other projects and allocations remain unchanged. CEQA compliance. This action does not qualify as a project under CEQA. Government Code 84308 does not apply. Strategic alignment. This amendment aligns with Salinas goals for public safety, housing, and responsive government. The City of Salinas has determined, strategic plan. The receipt and administration of CARES Act HUD funding supports the following City Council strategic goals: housing, affordable housing, public safety, effective and culturally responsive government. And the fiscal impact, as I mentioned already, does not apply to the city by HUD, and there is no general fund impact. So we're requesting today that the City Council approve a resolution to submit this fifth substantial amendment to fiscal year 2019-2020 annual action plan to HUD, and to authorize the city manager to, or designee to execute agreements and documents for HUD-funded projects. And staff is available to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. And Mr. Montgomery, if you wouldn't mind putting the slide up that has the recommended motion that you're requesting, perfect. And then I will come to council for questions. We'll go out to the public and come back to the council for comments and action on this item. I will start to my right. Councilmember Osornio, any questions?
No questions, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Barrera.
Yes, I really don't have a question, but just so the public can understand, what is it that they can expect here that's a benefit to the community?
Do you want to answer that?
Hi, City Council. My name is Francisco Rambilla. I'm the management analyst, and the benefit on this is that we had a community development analyst that was serving small businesses, and that position was being funded with CDBG funding. Now, the issue is that this funding is going to end by the end of November. So with this amendment, what is going to happen is we're going to extend this position to the end of the fiscal year. Now, what this position is doing is assisting small businesses to get funding resources, for either through grants or small loans, and also business technical assistance too.
Yes. And can you, for those that are listening, can you just, because I think this is a great opportunity, but how does one apply for these grants, or how do we connect with the business community?
So they can contact the Community Development Department and through the Economic Development Division. So you don't have the exact phone number for that, but that's how they can contact that. I think at least I can. Let me get my glasses.
Apparently you do have the exact phone
There
number.
you go. Yeah, they can call 831-758-7367.
Thank you.
Councilmember Gonzalez, questions? Councilmember Sandoval, questions? Councilmember Rocha, questions?
Yes, I have one question. Under the reappropriation of funds, only one do I see going down, and that's the Fair Housing and Housing Information Services. Why is that going down?
So we also have some other funding sources that are actually covering those services that are being provided. We have, I think the biggest one is United Way. We have been using a lot of those funds, and also that activity is also funding another community development analyst for the housing related activities. So, but right now there's some other funding sources that we can use.
Okay, so the overall amount that we're investing in fair housing services is not reducing, it's just you're using other funds to cover those costs?
Yeah, and the other reason is because CDBG funding is also going to expire, next fiscal year, so we're trying to spend it all.
Understood.
at that time.
Thank you. That was my only question.
Okay, Councilmember Valenzuela, questions?
No questions.
All right, I have no questions either. We'll go out to the public. Does any member of the public wish to comment on this item?
Hi, Jose Montevideo Community. I'm a little confused. A lot of this information that these gentlemen come up here and bring, they don't know the answers to. I mean, is it small business, is it housing? What are you doing? I mean, where are the other funds coming from that you're reallocating to cover what you didn't have for the last year or the couple years before? Not having, basic information like a phone number or a website. When you come up here and present, you got to have all that information, gentlemen. I'm sorry, you guys got to be prepared. I cannot stand up there and vote on something like this when people are confused, don't know, people are passing notes. You should be ready and willing to do what you got to do when you're up here. I'm kind of confused. Fair housing, small business. So where are you really getting the other money from that you're reallocating to subsidize for what you used to have and now you don't have? I mean, that's it. I'm sorry. Just when you present something up here to these gentlemen, don't push them into it. Be fair, be precise, be on it, what you're presenting. Let them know. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, welcome.
So I'm Eloise Shem, and I get Section 8. Section 8 gets money from HUD. And it's the first time since I was divorced 40 years ago that I live not in a scrunched up little place like a studio apartment, because HUD pays the lion's share of my one-bedroom apartment. But when I see this, like $2 million, I feel like, my HUD subsidy is going to go back to where I'm having to pay 50 and 75% of my rent from my fixed income. I don't see why they need $600,000 for technical assistance, $500,000 for administration. They're taking away the referral. Like the man said, there's no justification for all this additional money for HUD. So that's my comment. I personally just don't want to see my fixed income, which is small enough as it is, eaten up by all of this frivolous stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Does any other member of the public wish to comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close public comment in the chambers. We'll go over to Zoom. Does any member of the public on Zoom wish to comment on this item? If so, please use the raise hand function. All right, seeing none, I'll go ahead and close public comment. We'll come back to council members for final comment and action. I'll start to my right. Councilmember Osornio.
No comments, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Osornio. I'll need a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Valenzuela. We'll go on for final comments. Councilmember Pereira.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. And I think to the concern of the folks that just spoke about not understanding or not reporting everything, I think one of the things, and with good reason, there are issues that I think the public sometimes needs to be aware of. But I would like to let the public know that not only do we have briefings with the city manager and the city attorney staff, so we do get a chance to ask these questions as well. Very important questions. And I think for the public, that's why it's important sometimes if you do have concerns, especially in District 2, I would like you to get in contact with me as well. And I'll try to do my best in answering your questions. Just so you'll know, we don't take these things lightly. We want to make sure that nobody's impacted in a negative way. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Gonzalez, final comments. Councilmember Sandoval, final comments?
Just a comment, if we can have someone follow up with it, make sure her concerns are heard. Thank you.
Councilmember Rocha.
To that point, I was actually going to ask if in the meeting, if we could have someone clarify that the Section 8 housing vouchers are funded through the County of Monterey, not through our own CDBG funds. So this wouldn't impact the housing voucher or make it go to 75% of your income. It'll continue being at 30% of your income based on your agreement with the housing authority. So this is not part of that. Just wanted to clarify that. And if someone could follow up with Eloise Shim, that'd be great. Other than that, thank you for your presentation and for your work.
Councilmember Valenzuela, final comments?
No, just thank you for the presentation. And I feel that, at these council meetings, we get a lot of ideas of what we should be doing as a city to communicate, because there are a lot of acronyms, right? And so maybe city manager, this could be an opportunity to maybe do a little podcast about what is CDBG, what is HUD, so that way there could be a little bit more understanding on our community. So, thank you.
Final comment, and I'm going to dovetail on Councilmember Valenzuela. I leaned over. Certainly recognize that the programs are spelled out in the staff report, but I do think it would be helpful for the general public that may just be looking at the PowerPoint to actually spell out CDBG, ESG, HUD. There's just a general knowledge of that up here on the dais, but when we're talking to the general public, making sure that they understand as well. Otherwise, great presentation. Thank you very much, and great job on your first presentation. We'll call for the vote.
Motion made by Councilmember Osornio, second by Councilmember Valenzuela. Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent, thank you. We'll go on to our consent agenda. ID 655 and 657, the minutes have been tabled. There are 13 items on consent. Would any council member like to pull an item for a separate vote or discussion? I'll go to my right. Councilmember Osornio?
Chris said I didn't have to.
Yes, item 24-624.
Okay.
And I believe that's going to be it, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Rivera?
Yes, 649 and 600, please.
Okay. Councilmember Gonzalez? Okay, Councilmember Sandoval?
616 and 629.
Councilmember Rocha?
I will be pulling one item for recusal. I'm going to pull ID 24632, Amendment Number 1 to the subrecipient funding agreement with Community Human Services for Share Center operations. I am the city's representative to the Community Human Services Board, and so in an abundance of caution, I'm going to recuse myself from that vote.
Okay, we'll run that one last, just so that you can participate in the rest of them. Councilmember Valenzuela?
None for me.
Okay, great. We'll go out, yes.
Hey, please, 24-600 as well, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. We'll go out to the public. Any member of the public wish to pull an item? Yes, sir.
24653, 24629.
I'm sorry, could you give me the first number? 653, you said?
653.
Okay.
629.
Okay, we'll go to Zoom. Does any member of the public on Zoom wish to pull an item on consent? Seeing none. All right, we'll go ahead and close Zoom. Sorry about that. I missed the left side or the right side, according to which way you're sitting. Ms. Shim?
649.
Okay.
582.
582, okay. Okie dokie. I think we have just a couple left. Yep, go ahead.
24600.
600, you said?
Yes,
Okay. Got it, all right. Seeing no other hands, I'll need a motion to approve the remaining items. I'll need a second.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Gonzalez, seconded by Councilmember Barrera on ID 167, 610, 617, 623, and 654. Call for the vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio? Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval? Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to go straight down the line here. ID 653, the financial claims. We have a member of the public, Mr. Mason, who've pulled this item.
Yes, first off, I want to thank the Finance Department for talking to me about this type of issue, but I wanted to bring this up anyway, just to get it on the record. So this is the financial claims report. But before that, I thought I'd give you some college football scores. 23, 13, 27, 21, 41, 0, 42, 68. This is an illustration of not enough information, okay? You've got the scores, you have no teams, you don't know who did what. It's kind of that way when I'm reading this report, because you have who it's to, we're paying to, but we don't have a why. And I understand that there's some legalities involved, but somehow something needs to give, because I don't know how you guys can vote on these things and not know where the money is genuinely going, what it's for. So one of the examples, check number 478809 on 10/17/2024. Status is open, payee, Monterey County Health Department. Amount, $65,000 even. Anybody tell me what that was for? No, because it's not labeled. You have no idea. So I'm just bringing this up because you want to be transparent. And I understand there's some possibilities of identity theft or things like that. We need to figure out how to do it. Because if you want to be transparent with the community, you need to give us all the information. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, I'll need a motion to approve.
Approve.
A motion made by Councilmember Barrera, seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez. Call for the vote on 653.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, ID 582, we have, Chago, you pulled this item? Come on up. Welcome.
So, just looking at the details that are provided here, imagining what it looks like based on the experience of some of the residents in that area, the question does come up: what kind of engagement and what kind of information, that we could see, us as a public, specifically the neighbors in that area, just to see how the city is addressing the housing issue. And it's, it looks like there are these efforts should be taken note of, because this is part of our fight, our collective fight is for this housing. And so, just to, speak to the need of the details, like the gentleman here are raising that issue around transparency. Something to recognize and maybe be able to get some feedback from the neighbors there themselves. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Council, I'll need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion made by Councilmember Barrera, seconded by Councilmember Osornio on ID 582. Please call for the vote.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. ID 616, Councilmember Sandoval, you pulled this item?
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge this item as a great step for the city, identifying what trees aren't going to mess up our sidewalks anymore and just coming up with more of a strategic plan. And I'm going to make a plug for somebody who's been asking for trees for now, I think, 15 years off of Boston Avenue, Ms. Bonetti. I know that we're going to be bringing back, replenishing some trees and possibly looking at some of the money we we're waiting for on our insurance claims when we lost all those trees. So hopefully that will be considered in a future project. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Sandoval, seconded by Councilmember Barrera. Call for the vote on 616, please.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez?
Yes.
Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent. ID 624, Councilmember Osornio, you pulled this item?
Yes, this is the emergency Sherwood Hall HVAC boiler replacement, chiller maintenance, and water treatment. I just, if I could just get a little bit more information on this item, please.
Sure. So the boiler and the chiller have failed at the facility, and we need to replace the boiler and do some chiller maintenance. We also need to make sure that we have a contract in place to do water treatment so that the chiller is maintained effectively going forward. And so that's what this item is for.
And there was an item that also was for the Sherwood Hall. What was that? It was on our last council meeting?
So that was the controller upgrades, and it was an item that council had authorized previously, and we needed to come back because the work didn't get completed prior to the agreement expiring.
Okay. Yeah, and the only reason I pulled the item is just, again, to make aware of the investments that we're making and the upgrades to this Sherwood Hall. And again, the need for us to make a decision whether the city is going to be taking on the maintenance of it, which we have been for some time now, but subleasing it or selling it is the reason I pulled the item, just to make sure that I'm on the record stating that again. So thank you. No further questions. Move to approve.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Osornio, seconded by Councilmember Gonzalez. Call for the vote on 624, please.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval? Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent, thank you. All right, we have ID 629. I'm going to go with a member of the public, Mr. Masonou, if you've pulled this item.
I did. So I pulled up this resolution off the website, and it says it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth paragraph down. It says, whereas city staff thereupon reported the bid results to the city council at its regular meeting on November 12th, 2024, and the council in open session at said meeting examined the staff report. I haven't heard any of that. Did I miss something? If this hadn't been pulled, this would have just gone through consent and nobody would have talked about it. So that's a question I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sandoval, you also pulled this item.
Sure. Before I comment, City Attorney, could you clarify how motions are presented to, the resolution process and why it states that?
Yes, council member. So the resolution is drafted in anticipation of the council's approval. Council has the discretion to make a determination that's different than what's in the prepared resolution, which would be to deny it. And by receiving the report, having it included in your agenda packet, that constitutes examination of the report, because the assumption is that the council members have read all of the materials before they vote on them. So that, I think, is the answer to your question, council member.
Yeah, thank you. Just want to clarify that. I know it's a little strange to see it already printed on there, but there's a location for the mayor's signature, I believe. And and that's based off of what the city council votes on. But I do want to just bring some attention to this item. First of all, I'm excited. We're going to be doing North Davis Road and Laurel all the way down to Constitution, looks like, and Main Street. One of my concerns is, or my questions, we did a temporary fix on North Davis, caused a lot of traffic and things like that. And
apologies.
Yeah,
Continue.
no worries. Yes, thank you. And I know that they didn't do a full pavement reconstruction for North Davis, but at the same time, right on the corner of Larkin and North Davis, within a couple of months, not even a couple of months, I'll say a month, there was potholes that weren't there on the, that were fixed a month prior. And how do we resolve something like that? Is that something that we need to follow up with the contractor who did it? Or was it not expected that those potholes would be fixed when they did that coat?
Yes, so when we did Davis Road, we went through and evaluated the pavement. We did do some deep patches along Davis Road, but we don't know exactly what's happening underneath the asphalt. So when we went and do a chip seal all the way through, the amount of traffic that's going on there continues to beat that road, and the failing subbase is what's causing those potholes. So again, what needs to happen really is to basically redo it like we did Independence, where we go down there and take the base out and rebuild it. What we did, we did a chip seal to hopefully hold it together long enough to hold to when we can afford the full depth reclamation of it. But obviously it didn't hold up. There's spaces that's holding up, there's other places that are doing really well. But we need to go in there and crack fill so that the base doesn't continue to deteriorate.
And I guess the second part of my question was that the scope of that work covered that we fixed that, or that contractor fixed the pothole and that it had some kind of warranty? And I understand that there's issues that may come up, but at the same time, as a
Well,
representative
the thing
for
is,
that.
we'll have to go look at where the potholes occurred. Did the potholes occur at the locations they did the deep patch, or did the potholes occur at other locations that we weren't aware of when we did the actual chip seal?
Right. But as I was mentioning, those have been there for a long, long time, so people were excited. So like, were those identified as needing to have a deep patch, or, I just need to have a little more security that, that the scope of work that was done was actually done.
Okay.
For being the representative of that area, in all the traffic jams we caused, and then to see 1 month later we have the same issue, I think we really need to revisit that. And then, we went through the area once. I understand that there's a bigger need, but at the same time, I know that you're being diligent in your efforts, but we really need to make sure that the quality is there. Recently I had somebody else raise concerns about some other roads done around El Dorado Park that, I understand that the level of work we did was not a reconstruction, but still there seems to be a disconnect with the quality expected, maybe from us or the average resident, and what was.
I understand. And we'll get that, we'll go look at it, and we'll give you a report back in terms of what we accounted on Davis Road, where we did the deep patches, and how we move forward from this.
Okay, and that's on the corner of Larkin and North Davis?
Yes. Yep.
All right, thank you very much. With that, motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Sandoval, seconded by Councilmember Barrera. Call for the vote on 629, please.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we're going to skip 632 for the time being, go on to 649. Councilmember, I'm sorry, we have a member of the public that's pulled this item, Ms. Shim, ID 649.
Okay, so I did mention it early in the public comment about the police kind of not taking these priorities about mental health crisis, not having the training, and so forth. And I mentioned about a couple years ago with the guy from Interim, the Smart and Final, and how, they had the FBI and a whole army of police killing him, and he was having he's from Interim, okay, so Interim means mental health. So how is it, I just live in a place for seniors. They come in and look at my inside of my house since I've been there in 2 years 100 times. How did that guy have a whole cache of stuff, a mental guy, for them to do that? They don't prioritize what needs to be done. And I mentioned also about in Carmel, how they killed that guy. Now, the police, I saw them coming to a homeless person, a whole army of them in the middle of the day, sirens and coming after the homeless guy is just sitting there, treating him like a big criminal, a big drama. What we had at the first mayor's house, we had a pipe bomb, and the police came, but did they really investigate it or do anything? No. The person, Denise Estrada, she said, oh, the next day I had to go and see that it was a pipe bomb. So where are the priorities with the police? They're letting the criminal stuff, they're turning a blind eye to it, and then the mental health, they're killing them. Overkill.
Thank you. All right, Councilmember Burr, you also pulled this item, 649.
Yes, very passionate concerns there. The reason I pulled it, I wanted to say I support this report. Thank you to Chief Danny Warner. You know, one of the things that happens here is I've been on a couple of ride-alongs with the police department. One of them was very intense. I can see where a police officer, imagine on a daily basis, going on a 911 call. And on top of that, this report, if Chief Warner would like to say something, this report does say that police officers are required to take a training on behavioral health. And can you just share a little bit with the public? Because I know from the sidelines, it's easy to see things, how they happen, but in all actuality, while it's going through, it's very different. So can you just share a little bit about the requirement for these police officers for mental health?
Thank you, Councilman. So it's a state law that all police officers, after they come out of the academy, have to go through a 40-hour crisis intervention team training. That's within their first year of being on the street. And after that, every 2 years, they have to have updated training, which we just did in September. We also have a mobile crisis team, which we work with very closely. Our goal is when anyone is in a mental health crisis to have them respond, but sometimes the call dictates us responding first, unfortunately.
Yes. And just one last question on I know your report does say you support transparency and you post, what do you post on the policy manual? You say force policy and related materials on your website?
Our entire policy is posted on our website. So anything you'd like to know, you can go right to our website, go to How Do I, and then pull our entire policy down.
Yeah.
You can download it.
Thank you. When we're ready, motion to approve.
I'll need a second.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Councilmember Barrera, seconded by Councilmember Valenzuela. Please call for the vote on 649.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. ID 600, Mr. Guerra, you pulled this item?
Guerra.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I did pull this item. Jose Guerra, Montebello Community. Reason why I pulled this item was because I did read the print that came out on it that said dusk, dawn. If we can put in parentheses, a number behind it, 5 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 7. I mean, we pretty much know when it gets dark and when it doesn't. So I would like to have that put on there, and I want this motion to pass for that reason, because we need more information. Maybe have it posted in Spanish also. I mean, not just English, both languages, with more information. And maybe a phone number, so if they have a complaint or concern, they don't have to, they're not tech savvy, they can call somebody, hours, Monday through Friday, whatever, or a little Instagram, you take a picture and it gives you all the info. Something simple, try to make it easy for everybody. So that's why I pulled. I want more information on that actual sign that's gonna be put up there. I want people to read it and not be confused, and not be like, oh, wow, nobody told me. Nadie me dijo. Come on, I'm tired of all that. People know. People are smart. You speak the language or not, you're intelligent. You understand. Everybody understands. all races. It's all the same. We're all one race. I mean, we all understand the universal language. Let's use it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Councilmember Osornio, you also pulled this item?
Yes, I just, I know that this is the second reading of it, so I just again wanted to pull the item for separate vote. I understand the work that our city attorney has done on this, and also our department head, Kristen Lindquist. And so I thank you for that, but just for me, I'm not going to be supporting the item moving forward, so I just wanted to pull it out for a separate vote, so thank you so much.
Okay, Councilmember Barrera, you also pulled this item?
Yes. Ms. Lundquist, I think, and I support what you're doing. I guess my concern is always when we put out an ordinance, are we able to enforce it? That's my biggest concern, because a sign might say something. We have a lot of no parking signs, but we have people parking there. We have signs everywhere, no this, no that, but so there's no enforcement. So I guess my concern is if somebody's not abiding by this, I mean, they leave their car for whatever reason at the park, are we really going to tow it, or is it going to stay there, be there by in the morning? Or if there's a phone number, let's face it, when we put a phone number, is there going to be somebody to answer that phone number or that phone call? Can you just share a little bit about what the plan is for enforcement?
Sure. If approved this evening, it goes into effect 30 days from now. So we'll do an outreach campaign. We can post additional signage at the park, but then we'll also work with our police department partners to work out a process by how we're going to handle that. I will tell you that we have been closing the lot. I think one night it didn't get closed, but for the last several weeks, we've been able to close the lot, so we may not need to tow. And my preference would be to correct the behavior versus towing people. So we'll be looking at that on a case-by-case basis.
Yes, and for that one individual that just does not agree with our ordinance, the police department says that's not our priority. So, okay, so we call the police department, and they don't show up because they have other more critical things.
So when I mentioned we'd work with our police partners, we'll do that to determine how we're going to call for towing. It may not have to be the police department that does that, and so we'll work together to come up with a process and how we're going to handle that going forward. As I mentioned, it doesn't go into effect for 30 days, so we'll have time to put a process in place.
Yes, thank you. Motion to approve.
Okay, I'll need a second. Okay, motion made by Councilmember Barrera, seconded by Councilmember Sandoval. Call for the vote, please, on 600.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Councilmember Osornio?
No.
Councilmember Rocha?
Yes.
Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. No one else except for Councilmember Rocha pulled ID 632, so we'll excuse you. And once he has left the rotunda, I'll need a motion to approve the item.
Move to approve.
Hang with me 1 second, please.
Second.
Hang on.
Has he left the room yet?
Why would I expect anyone to listen now, right? Okay. I'll need a motion to approve. Councilmember Barrera, and seconded by Councilmember Valenzuela. Call for the vote on 632, please.
Councilmember Barrera?
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez? Yes. Councilmember Osornio?
Yes.
Councilmember Rocha recused. Councilmember Sandoval?
Yes.
Councilmember Valenzuela?
Yes.
Mayor Craig?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent, thank you. Could somebody go grab Councilmember Rocha, and we'll go on to Councilmember reports, appointments, and future agenda items. And I'll start to my right. Councilmember Osornio.
Yes, I just wanted to one of the appointments that I made some time ago, but I just didn't have a time to announce it, was going to be for Parks and Rec, was going to be Marlene Garcia, which is going to be appointed to Parks and Rec Commission. And then another one was Ricardo, was going to be to Police Advisory Committee. So those are going to be two of the folks that will be added to those two committees. And that's going to be all.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Councilmember Pereira?
Thank you. Well, congratulations to all the new firefighters. Congratulations to the finance staff. And I think Mr. Rene Mendez, you're building a great team. And I concur, I'm one of the guys I want you to stay on. I think you're doing a hell of a great job in your 2 months here. You know, I had the opportunity to go to the fire station on Williams Road. I met with Fire Captain Carlos Pimentel, firefighter Kyle Planetsky, and Cesar Reyes. Firefighter Cesar Reyes, he's been on the job, I think now he's going on his 2.5 months. He's from East Salinas. There was like 8 young men and women that were hired in the fire department that are from the Alisal, Salinas. So I want to thank Chief Klemek for doing a great job. And you know, I think when people are from here, they tend to stay here because family's here. And I also had a chance to hang out with K9 Cruz. He's the dog at the firehouse. You know, one interesting thing I asked about this dog, and the captain said, you know, that dog a lot of times brings healing to the firefighters because all these 911 calls are awful. I also had the opportunity to go on on Halloween night, I went on a police ride-along. Who in the hell would have known we were going like 90 miles an hour? My God, I was scared. But you know what? The tension, the workmanship with these folks, to what they see on a daily basis is awful, saving people's lives. And I want to commend the police department and the fire department. I'm going to be doing that on a more regular basis because a lot of times when we make decisions up here, I like to know exactly what they're going through and how we can be more supportive. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Councilmember Gonzalez?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Wanted to invite folks this Saturday, the Community Leadership Academy, in partnership, of course, with the city, is having a community cleanup at Natividad Creek Park, Las Casitas Park, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tradición por siempre, the folks that bring you our annual and now well-returned El Grito event invite the public to attend La Posada con Santa Claus, at Gloucester Park, December 7th at 12 p.m. It's happening. There will be raffles, prizes, food, photos with Santa. It'll be a great family event for all. And then encouraging folks to sign up for winter hoops at our rec center. The deadline for registration is December 20th. And then lastly, just wanted to take a quick minute to address the shameful and untrue accusations that Mr. Bradley Clinton made of me during tonight's public comments before he hurriedly ran off, claiming that he'd never come back again. I more than welcome feedback from community, feedback from the public, and criticism of policy actions, choices made from the dais, whatever that may be, as I feel that's critical to us when it comes to making informed decisions as a body, as a governing body. But to make a baseless claim about me in what I can only assume is an attempt at character assassination or to hurt my reputation is unacceptable. Mr. Clinton claimed that in a recent email addressed to me that I responded to his inquiries in less than 30 seconds with, "I don't give a F." And I want to make it clear to my constituents and residents here and community members that I would never respond to anyone with that kind of response at all. Furthermore, I don't believe there's any record of correspondence from me to Mr. Bradley Clinton. I understand, you know, it's election season. This is around the time when personal attacks are made. It's a part of the show. I get that. But you don't have to worry about me. I'm not running for re-election. I've accomplished all that I set out to do for my community, and it's been an honor to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Sandoval.
All right. Well, I got a chance to attend the Niner Empire 831 10-year celebration, so congratulations to them. I got to go with my sons Sean and Bella, who are Cowboy fans, so thanks to them for sacrificing and joining me at a Niners event. I want to thank Sergeant Magaña for an amazing ride-along. We did not hit 90 miles an hour like Councilmember Barrera. I think maybe top was like 40 miles an hour, but I really appreciate him because like Councilmember Barrera says, you know, by doing these ride-alongs, we really gain insight into what's really happening, and it helps us make better informed decisions. So I want to thank him for sharing his knowledge, and also he helped get rid of an abandoned car that had been there for a long, long time. And so the neighbors came out and they were all excited. And so those are things that are really affecting our quality of life. So thank you, Chief, and Sergeant Magaña did fantastic. I attended the Veterans Day Parade with Tony Beretta, did an amazing job with his team. And I want to give a special shout out to some veterans I personally know and thank them for the service, including Doug Dunn, Ms. Joan Bennett, Jorge Rojas, and of course, Eric Peterson. Thank you very much for your service. And I want to give a congratulations to an amazing performance for all the bands who played at the Salinas pit. They had oh, Francisco was there, yes. They all performed different songs, but the really cool thing that I wish we could have more of, and I'm sure we are going to have more of, was at the very end, all these competing bands, they all played a song together. And I thought, man, if we can have more of that in our community, it would be awesome. And I know we're all going to work towards that. And I want to congratulate Ms. Lassen on doing a great job with her RSJ band. I held a movie night in partnership with the Santa Rita School District. Big thank you to Ms. Alderman, the IT team, and everybody out there who partnered and made it a very successful event. Pete and Renee made popcorn, and Tapioca Delight brought free drinks. Thank you to Jesus and the video crew who made that all happen. It was the first time a lot of people got to see an outdoor movie night, so they were really excited. I attended the Senator Ana Caballero's thank you and farewell. It was great to hear that of all her accomplishments and all her partnerships, and I mean, she just did amazing work, and she's going to continue to do amazing work. Mayor Craig presented on behalf of the City Council, so it was a great event. I just want to bring to the Council's attention the LAS parking enforcement concerns I think we've all shared for a long, long time, and just as I shared with the City Manager, I think there was a significant support for moving parking enforcement to our PD. Also, I want to give congratulations to a true power couple. There's some residents, Rudy Lopez and his wife Shirley, who broke state records. Rudy pulling 402 pounds, making him a 4-time world champion. And Shirley crushed the world championship record, setting 2 world records in, I think, 2 weeks, 65 weeks, sorry. And lastly, one more thing, let's see. I want to say happy birthday to my son, Zach, Sean Sandoval, who became a teenager on November 10th. So happy birthday, Sean. Thank you.
Councilmember Rocha.
Wonderful. I thought I had a busy couple of weeks. No. So I attended the Monterey Wind Water Board of Directors meeting, as well as the Housing and Land Use Committee meeting and the Salinas Valley Recycles Executive Committee meeting, which will be having a special board meeting later this month. I was also able to attend the city's Halloween potluck, and I want to extend a thank you to our city manager, Rene Mendez, for bringing about these kinds of opportunities for workplace engagement amongst employees. I think it really builds morale, really allows for people to get to know each other outside of the cubicles and outside of the office spaces, and you could just tell the excitement that exists within our city, especially within our city employees, in terms of being able to work together and getting a lot of good things done for our community. I was also able to stop by the Republic Services cleanup, and I want to give a shout out to Christina and her team. I believe it was 143 around there, right, cars that came by. So thank you for all of your hard work, as well as our city neighborhood services coordinators who were there. Great work. I was able to attend Senator Ana Caballero's farewell. She once represented, she was the first council member actually of the 6th District. And so it was great to be there supporting her in the many capacities she has represented our city. A true trailblazer and legend really for the city of Salinas. I was also able to join my colleagues at the Veterans Day Parade, and I want to thank everyone who played a role in that. It was great to see everyone there. Even in the rain, we all showed up there to support our veterans. So it's been a great couple of weeks. That's all I have to say.
Councilmember Valenzuela.
Sure thing. First of all, also congratulations to the firefighters. I mean, that is a lot of new folks. And I'm sure it's a result of that Great Explorers program that y'all have developed. Also, City Manager Gane, I also agree, you've been doing a great job. I know it's a lot, but I think one of the things that I'm most excited about, especially as more people want to get interested in what the city is doing, is the podcast. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, please check it out. One of the things that I would really like to push, maybe in the podcast, but in general, is as the holiday season is approaching, remember to shop local. Our city gets the majority of its funds. It's a general fund city, so the more that we shop local, the more that we benefit. I was also able to attend the farewell for Senator Ana Caballero. It was a great event. It was a long event, but it was great. Yeah, she definitely has done a great job. And finally, I know that there is a lot of fear right now, especially with our immigrant community. So I really want to remind our community that a couple years back, the Salinas City Council approved making our city a welcoming community. It was a 6-1 vote, the only opposing vote coming from District 3, but overwhelmingly, our city decided that our police department will not work with ICE. And so to our immigrant community, we want to make sure that that message is clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Some updates for me. I was the guest speaker for Santa Lucia Rotary. Interestingly, when you announce that you're not running for re-election, a lot of people want to hear from you all of a sudden. So I had the opportunity to speak with them. They actually had some really great questions just about the city overall, long-term projects. Also went and spoke with Ivy Park, and I came prepared with updates. And they said, no, honey, sit down, and we're going to have a fireside chat. So it was literally a lovely conversation with a group of seniors who just wanted to know everything from why aren't the potholes fixed on Riker to, what the long-term plan was for homelessness, to how I felt about national politics. It was a really very organic conversation. I was very grateful for the opportunity. I also was the MC for Independent Transportation Network's 100,000 Rides. For those of you that may not necessarily know about ITN Monterey County, it's like Uber for seniors, but it is door-to-door service. And so if you have a walker, if you have a wheelchair, the driver ensures that you get out of the car and get through the threshold of where you're trying to go. So, and I should say not just for seniors, also for visually impaired folks. Great event. They've done 100,000 rides in 10 years here in Monterey County. I did speak with our sister city who took a visit, Ishiki-Kushikino. It has taken me all 12 years to get that name correct. They have been longtime sister city partners, and they stopped by, and we had great conversation about ag technology, about the outlay of the city. I think they toured the fire station, the police station, and we had a really great conversation centered around homelessness in California. They were surprised to see the homelessness. So great dialogue. There were about 15 of them on that tour. I also want to say thank you to the Lowrider Council for putting on their annual Trunk or Treat. That event continues to grow. And Salinas PD and Parks and Recreation for offering up opportunities for kids to dress up and go trick-or-treating in a safe environment. Both were very well attended, and appreciate the outreach that we give to our community through our departments. I also was privileged to work with Cal Water on Operation Gobble every year. They work in collaboration with the City of Salinas to select local nonprofits to give turkeys to, so that certain families that are underserved through these local nonprofits can be, you can ensure that they have a Thanksgiving meal. So it was really great. And thank you to the Finance Department for taking me under your wing on Halloween. I was dressed as Priscilla Presley without Elvis, and they had a lovely, I missed the whole citywide Halloween luncheon, so Finance took me under their wing, and it was totally 80s, and then they had dressed up Priscilla Presley in the middle of it. So very much appreciate the folks there helping me out in helping me to celebrate. And then just an acknowledgement for Anna Caballero. The Salinas Valley Chamber of Commerce gave her the Legacy of Leadership Award and called me and said, would you be willing to give her the award? So very serendipitous that, and an honor and a privilege for me as the second female in 150 years, second female mayor, to give the first female mayor the Legacy Award. So a very touching tribute. And of course, 2 events yesterday for Veterans Day, the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Ceremony at 11 a.m. up at the Vietnam Veterans Park. I just want to say thank you to Renee Mendez. It was raining sideways out there, and appreciated the leadership of our city manager to be present, as well as Chief Danny Warner and the honor guard who stood out there in the pouring rain for the honor guard. And they were walked in the parade, everyone was dripping wet. And then I saw the honor guard again this morning giving a proclamation to the 103-year-old merchant Marines over at the Board of Supervisors. So they put those outfits back on this morning and did it again. So just thank you, and thank you for the dedication. It is incredibly important. Salinas honors, appreciates, and loves our veterans. And to have the presence there and to have the presence at the parade of our council, I think was very important. So that's it for me. Very much appreciate it. We do have one item for closed session. California Government Code Section 54956.9D4. Does any member of the public wish to pull this item? All right, anyone on Zoom? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close. This meeting is adjourned. We'll see you next week, November 19th. Thank you.